Good morning, everyone. It's just gone 8 a.m. Indochina time. That's in Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, and 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In Southeast Asia, it is, I believe it's January the 22nd, 2026, and we're looking at gold, XAU USD on the 15-minute chart. Welcome wherever you're from. That'll be great. We're looking at yesterday's move, big move up to a new all-time high, 48.88. And then went sideways for a while and then came down real hard towards the end of the New York session and came right back down to where it started after more than $100 move, 1,000 pips, came all the way back down to where it started. Then it went up in the close of the U.S. session, and now here we are in the Asia Pacific session. And this is Singapore and Shanghai have opened now, and it looks like they want to continue pushing the price down. Hey, good morning, Raj. Yeah, I'm a minute or two late here getting started, but that's okay. We don't do anything for the first 15-minute candle. What a wild day. What a wild week it's been, I should say, with gold. Oh man. And this first candle here, we're starting to move down, looking a little bit bearish. We just wait for that first candle to finish, to close, before making any kind of a decision. It has broken my first trend line there, but a little too far away for me to go short. If that was to break this, if it was to close right there at 47.73, my stop loss would be at 48.37. Wow, that's way too big of a stop loss. So I will let this just play out and see what happens, see how it unfolds. Yeah, I know you're usually driving home just when I get started, watching on the mobile before you get home. So what a crazy week it's been with gold, eh? Monday we moved up nearly $100. Tuesday moved up $100. Wednesday moved up $100. What a crazy week! But we all know why gold has moved up so much this week, and that's because of the geopolitical situation with Trumpy Dumpty threatening to use military force to take Greenland, telling them, we'll either do it the easy way or the hard way. And boy, that has really rocked the markets. So why are we seeing gold come down now? Well, because Switzerland in the Davos summit, the annual summit that they have, all the leaders get together there in Switzerland, and Trumpy Dumpty finally said, okay, no, he will not use military force to take Greenland. So the markets are calming down now. The stock market went back up. Gold is coming back down. These are the huge global concerns that will move things so dramatically. An earthquake, a tsunami, a war. threats like Trumpy Dumpty has been making certainly does rock the markets. Well, what he's been saying for the past couple of weeks has been rocking the markets. But then finally, after his speech yesterday, everybody kind of calmed down a little bit, when he said that he wouldn't use military force to take over Greenland. Yeah, that uncertainty is scaring everyone. Well, could be. You never know. We cannot predict the markets. We cannot predict geopolitical situations. I think, unfortunately, Trumpty Dumpty is going to be in power for 3 more years. And so we just kind of have to expect these kind of things. You don't know what he's going to tweet. You don't know what he's going to wake up and say. Oh, man. I'm going to go over here and hit my Forex Factory calendar just to see what kind of high impact news we've got today. I'm sure there's a little bit. And let's see here. We've got, Australia has already done their employment change and the unemployment rate. And that's been, really good news for the Australian economy. So we should see the odd US going up. I'll have a look at that in just a moment. And then the US, we got the final GDP. That's at 8:30 p.m. Southeast Asia time, where I live. And then the unemployment claims, which comes every Thursday. And then the core price index month on month, an hour and a half after. This one is 30 minutes after Wall Street opens. So be aware of all that high impact news. Check forexfactory.com for your local times. Those things do move the markets. Most times with those kind of things, it's a knee jerk reaction. It might last for about 30 minutes or a bit longer, and then the price goes back to what it was doing. So let's just have a quick look at the odd US and see if that news. Oh, yeah, I did, of course. And that was really good news for the Australian economy on the employment. But this has gone up here, and then after about another hour, it'll come back to where it was. It always does. The only high impact news that generally will last for several hours or several days is a change in the interest rate. That one is very, very important. Go back to gold. And interesting, this 8 o'clock candle, the first candle, first 15 minutes, appears to be a fake out. And that's why one of my steadfast rules is to wait for the first candle to close. Wait for any candle to close before you take a trade. It doesn't matter what time frame you're trading on, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour. If you're taking a trade based on candle formation, wait for the candle to close. Yeah, it's difficult. All traders say that. You just don't know what's going to happen. You just have to let the price tell you what it's going to do, and then trade accordingly using your strategy. Check out natural gas. Natural gas. I'm not sure I even know the symbol for that. Can you type it in there, Raj, and I'll have a look. I never look at that one. The metals have dropped down. All of the metals, platinum, silver, copper, they've all dropped down. What is the symbol for natural gas? NG. Okay, let me have a look and see if I can find that one. Okay, well, natural gas futures, natural gas vantage. Okay, we'll try that one. That should be down here at the bottom. Oh, yeah, had a big move up, and then, as always, usually, typically, it will then go sideways after such a gigantic move. Hmm, interesting. See, yeah, that's been coming up for a while. Yeah, that was a gigantic move yesterday. I don't trade any of those things. And in your watch list here, it will show you the percentage of the move for the day. I have that switched off on my platform. I don't like too much noise on the chart. And our second candle has started now. And so you see, such a good point. I always bring this out. How you need to wait for that candle to close before you decide what to do. And this was just a fake out. If I chased this candle, which was, big red candle here, I would be in a loss now. We've got four people watching. Raj is the only one that's chatting. If you're new here, let me know where you're watching from. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to type in the chat box. So I don't know if any of you guys that are following here watch the New York session. Normally I will do live. Yeah, correct. Just when you put that comment in there, that was the thought that came to my mind. I was not live last night. I for New York yesterday, and that is because I was trying out a new strategy, and I wanted to really be focused on the price action. I wanted to be 100% focused on the price action. So I will probably go live today for the New York session. No, I won't probably. I will. I will definitely be here for the New York session today. It's just that I was trying out a new strategy yesterday. Uh, I was scalping on the 1 minute chart. and it was fun. It was exciting, and I ended up with a good profit. And I haven't done scalping in a long, long time, years ago. I can't remember when it was, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I went off of that. Yes, it can be quite exhausting. You got to keep your hand on the mouse, especially the 1 minute chart, and be willing to take just a little bit of profit because it does fluctuate a lot. It might go up for 4 or 5 minutes and then back down for 4 or 5 minutes. And you need to choose the right time. Just the first 30 minutes don't trade in the New York session, but then that next hour is was pretty good. 15 seconds, you got to be out of your mind. Oh my gosh. Does TradingView even have a 15-second chart? Oh, they do. Wow. I've never even considered that. Wow. 1 second, 5 second, 10, 15. Oh, no way in the world. No way in the world. 15-second chart. Well, I'll look at it today because you said something, but I can't really seriously wrap my head around trying to trade on a 15-second chart. But the 1 minute chart was interesting, and I did flip around from the to the 2 minute, the 5 minute, and the 1 minute gave me the best results. So I'm going to do that again today. I'm going to do it in the London session. And what I have found is that about the first 30, 45 minutes, you don't need to do anything in the London session. And then after that, for about an hour, you can get some good trades. But of course, my bread and butter is still the trend line strategy on the 15-minute chart. Wow, look at this, man. This is what a beauty. Reinforcing my statement about don't take a trade until the candle closes. I would be in a huge loss already if I had chased this first candle when the market opened. Now, gold is still bullish on the day chart, bullish on the 4 hour chart. So the bias is bullish. And perhaps we will, now it's come back down to what is that, 40, 47 something there? 40. Now we're at 48. Now we're at the 4,800 mark. So if we can break above that and stay above it, then we might get back up to higher prices today or tomorrow. But we've got our all-time high there at 48.88. And you say, well, that's a long way away. Yeah, so moved up more than $100 yesterday and then came back more than $100. So, it used to be years ago that gold would only move maybe 2 or 300 pips in a day. And now 1,000 pips in one day is not really a big deal for gold. And 400 or 500 is pretty standard, actually. Yeah, trying to push. We just let the price tell us what it's going to do, and I don't have anything to do until it breaks this downward trend line. If it breaks this downward trend line, as you know, then I will go long. It's getting a little bit better risk management scenario than I would have if that happens, but not yet. Not really in a good. This is not a good trade setup at the moment for me. Only a, only Raj, you're the only one here at the moment. It's really strange how it fluctuates so much. I think it was Monday that we had about 20 people all in the chat at one time. What broker do you use, by the way, Raj? You might have told me before. I forgot. Yeah. So we're just waiting. 99% of our time we spend waiting. That's what traders do. I just saw your comment, losing your hair to scale into positions. So if any of you guys watching now or watching the recording, if you ever want to message me, you can reach me on Telegram. My ID is at RickRayFX. That's my main messaging service. I do use Line, but that's what they use in Southeast Asia a lot. People around the world mostly use, I think, WhatsApp. I have WhatsApp, but my main one is Telegram. My ID is RickRayFX. And if you want to check out my website, that is rickrayfx.com, where you'll find more information about trading, free indicators, information about prop firms, copy trade. And coming back down, that push didn't last very long. And just about to go to our next candle. So getting a bit of sideways movement here. What did it do yesterday? Yeah, this was the opening yesterday, and then it just kept going up. Huge candles, huge bullish move as the when Singapore and Shanghai opened yesterday. Massive move. Sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. It's not predictable. You cannot say, well, it did this yesterday, so it will do that today. No, it doesn't work that way. The market just moves. It just does what it's going to do, and we have to let it tell us what it's going to do, and then take a trade accordingly, according to our strategy. Yeah. Well, what did I keep saying today? Don't take any trade until the candle is closed. That's possible. It could just go sideways for the rest of the Asian market. Sometimes it'll do this the first couple of hours, and then it will start to move. I find that kind of weird. Maybe I don't know why it does that. They spend a couple of hours considering what they're going to do, and then they make up their mind and start moving. By the way, guys, I'm on to a new broker, and I'm really interested in these guys. They look quite good, and I've been having a few Zoom sessions with them, and they're based in Australia. And if you want to check them out, it's rickrayfx.com marketplace. Of course, anything based in Australia would use the term mate. Good day, mate. rickrayfx.com marketplace. And they are licensed and regulated. Of course, being in Australia gives them a lot of credibility. And they're now expanding into Southeast Asia. And they look pretty solid. They're very relationship oriented. I've been having, like I said, some Zoom sessions with the founder and looking good. They also have a prop firm. So it's a prop firm backed by a broker. And that's always a good indication for a prop firm. There's like 400 prop firms in the world or more, and they're not, they're just some of them are just fly by night. So if you get one that's backed by a broker, then that gives that prop firm more credibility. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Top Step. I do review the prop firms quite a bit. I have 5 prop firm accounts. My preferred one is the Trading Pit. You have 5, only 50% funded in accounts. Cool. So I'll just put this on the screen also. We're talking about prop firms. The one I prefer and have several accounts with is the Trading Pit. And these are really good guys. I mean, really, they have a Discord group with 20,000 members, and they are great. Support is fantastic. They're just good. I've researched quite a few, and these ones are the ones that I have 3 accounts with them. So rickrayfx.com/ the trading pit. Anybody wants to check them out. Now we're getting another green candle here. So more than half an hour into the market, and we're not doing no action. No valid trade setup for me yet. Hey, Festus, and you can call me Rick. Drop the Y. Just call me Rick. Nice to see you here. You've been here several times. I remember you. Thanks for tuning in. Anybody that's watching, don't forget to like and share. That does help the channel, and it encourages me to be on a regular basis. Yeah, if you're using a prop firm, you want to, like I say, I've researched a lot, and you want to be sure that you check out the terms and conditions very, very carefully because they are strict. All prop firms have very strict terms and conditions, and you have to abide by them. Otherwise, you lose your challenge. You lose your account. Some people don't bother to read terms and conditions, but if you're trying a prop firm, you better read the terms and conditions very carefully. So I'll stick around here for another few minutes. If anybody got any comments or questions, I've got a busy day ahead today. I have another webinar this afternoon. After I finish the chart here, I'll go to the gym, and I'm going to be busy later in the day. If you're new here and you just don't know what you're looking at on the chart, this is the XAU USD 15-minute chart, and this is my trend line strategy. I start with the top-down analysis, go back to the monthly chart, and put in the downward trend lines and the upward trend lines. These go all the way back to the previous existing low and existing high. And then I go down to the weekly chart, then the daily, then the 4-hour, then the 15-minute. And this is what I end up with. And the way I take a trade, what I'm looking for is if it breaks above my downward trend line here, if it breaks above and closes above, then I will go long. And if I go long, then I put my stop loss below the green line. That would be called the safety line. And vice versa. If it breaks below the green line, if it breaks below this upward trend line and closes below this line, then I will go short. And I put my stop loss above the red line, which would then be the safety line. And these other lines you see here, this is the first level of resistance. And this line here is the first level of support. And the blue line is the pivot point for the day. That's about usually where it starts the day. And it's like a magnet. It will move away from that and gradually make its way back up, or it will move away from that and gradually make its way back down. Hello, Panky. Good to see you here. Now, you guys stop calling me Ricky. It's Rick, R-I-C-K. There's no Y on the end of my name. So, Panky, did you get that explanation that I just gave? Hello, Alec. Now we're getting a few people coming in. How you doing today, Alec? I don't think I've seen you in here before. Where are you watching from? Oh, I know what I forgot. No, I don't need to do that. Oh, from Pakistan. Okay, you may have been here before. I get a few from Pakistan. Just came across the stream. Cool. Well, be sure and subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you'll be notified. Anybody that's new to the channel, and of course, I appreciate it. Oh, it's your first time, Alec. Okay, well, welcome. Anybody that's watching, be sure to like and share. I do appreciate that very much. And I only trade gold. All right, that's all that I traded for the entire year of 2025 is gold on the 15-minute chart with this strategy, the trend line strategy. And I'm continuing that this year. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It works for me. And I'm looking at adding one more asset this year. I haven't done it yet. And I want to add platinum. This is platinum here. Oh, it's just, look at that. Fake out. Just like gold. Fake this out just like gold. We can get rid of that line there. I'll just adjust my trend lines on here. There we go. So I'm thinking of adding, this is an all-time high for platinum yesterday. So that's why this doesn't go back any farther. As I said, I do a top-down analysis Go back as far as you want. This is an all-time high for platinum. It's never been higher than this. So I'm looking at adding platinum to my trading portfolio this year, but I haven't done it yet. Do I expect gold to be rotational today? What do you mean rotational? Rotational means go up and down. Yeah, I expect gold to go up and down today. Hello, Adam. Okay, um, good question. I haven't mentioned that yet today. I'm always here Monday to Friday at this time, and this is 8 a.m. Indochina time. That's in Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in New York every day, Monday to Friday. And then I am also doing the New York session almost every time, Monday to Friday, well, when Wall Street opens. And that is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 9:30 p.m. where I live in Southeast Asia, Indochina time. Well, Alec, I don't expect the commodity or the currency to do anything. I don't predict the market. I react to what I see. I let the price tell me what it's going to do. And you cannot predict the market. It might go sideways all day today. In fact, we just zoom in here a little bit and have a look at some previous days. So, just for example, on Monday we had this all-time high 46.91, and that took about 30 minutes. Okay, and then it just went sideways all day. Now that's unusual, but of course this was Martin Luther King Day, the U.S. Holiday, so it never did open. All right, but I wouldn't try and predict anything. That's really unusual to see such a very tight range for the entire day. And then you come over on Tuesday, we just had steady with occasional pullbacks, and it just went up another $100. And then yesterday, how can you predict this? It went up more than $100, but before the day finished, it came down more than $100. And then you had this in here in the middle. This is mostly London session when it went sideways. So I take a trade setup based on what the price is telling me it's doing. I don't expect anything. Panky, no, I don't. I don't post signals or anything like that on Telegram. If if I have a trade set up here while we're live on YouTube, I will tell you exactly my entry and exactly my stop loss and my take profit. But in every session, I don't get a trade set up. It just sometimes doesn't happen. So we just sit here and chat, sit here and wait for the market to tell us what it's going to do. Be patient. I don't chase candles. I don't anticipate anything. I don't expect the market to do anything. The market's just going to do what it does. It's just going to move. And if I don't take a trade today, that's okay. You don't have to trade every day. No trade is a good trade. It means I didn't lose any money. But I have good risk management. So if I have a losing trade, and sometimes I do, They are small losses. Okay, Alec, good question. Let's go over here and look at the chart. I'll explain the strategy once more. Okay. I've got the downward trend line and I've got the upward trend line. Now, if this candle comes up here, breaks this red trend line, if the candle closes above the red trend line, it breaks and closes above. I wait till the candle closes. If it closes above the red trend line, I will go long. And I put my stop loss below the green line and vice versa. If this candle comes down here and breaks the green trend line and closes below the trend line, then I will go short. And I put the stop loss above the red trend line. It's as simple as it can be, this strategy. You're welcome. Very good question. And as you can see, this candle here broke the trend line, but it didn't close below the trend line. So I didn't take the trade. If I had taken the trade, I would be in a loss right now. If I went short just because it broke the trend line, chase the candle, go short, then I would be in a loss right now. So I wait for it to close below the trend line, either one, the downward or the upward trend line. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Uh, Adam asked a good question about what time I'm here. Let me just pop this screen on for you guys. I do have a free trading course. It's especially for beginners. It's 10 video tutorials, and it helps you to know how to sign up with a broker, how to use MT4, all the functions and features. I show you how to take orders, how to execute orders, and pending orders as well. Buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop. I go into risk management and trading the news. Everything you need. It's a foundation for beginning traders. Everything you need to get started if you're interested in learning how to trade. That's 10 video tutorials. And if you're interested in that, we'll just go to my Telegram and message me. My Telegram ID at RickRayFX and just say free course. And I'll send you the link and I'll send you the password. It is password protected. Okay, been here over 45 minutes. This is our last candle of this hour. And we just do have sideways movement. Pretty obvious, eh? Very tight range for the opening here. Sometimes it takes a couple of hours actually before the Asian market starts moving. Sometimes it starts right from the beginning and sometimes it doesn't. Trading at 48.1. So that's a strong psychological zone where we are now, the 4,800 level. So we're going to need some strong bullish momentum to break above that and stay above it, or some strong bearish momentum if it's going to break below and keep going. I kind of think we might stay at 4,800. It dropped below that here during the U.S. session last night, but then it came right back up. So it just dipped its toes in the water below 4,800 and then came right back up. and did the same today, dropped down a little bit, but now we're just hanging around that 4,800 zone. That's a strong psychological number where yeah, it will consolidate there for a while, and then the decision will be made by the institutions, the central banks, the fund managers, whether they're going to take the price higher or lower. And then when I'm in here in the New York session, by the way, I have a different chart. I use a slightly different strategy. I do have the trend lines, but I have a slightly different strategy, and I'm looking for liquidity grabs during the New York session. Adam, I don't have anything less than 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. 1 to 3 is better if you can, if you can get that, but nothing less than 1 to 2. I don't do 1 to 1. 1 to 2 should be a minimum. And that means if you lose 3 trades out of 5, you can still have profit. And I use this tool here. Let's say I was going to go long, and I entered the trade right there. That's 1 to 1 by default. So I would need to move this up till I get 2 on the screen. Let me just get my face a little bit closer. There we go, 2. That's about 2, about 1 to 2. So I'd be looking at something like that. Five more minutes for this first hour, and then I will probably sign out. And remember, as I always tell you, at on the hour, sometimes it will do a 180-degree turn and go absolutely the opposite direction. We look at the 1 hour chart. So we had this big wick there. Sometimes when the next candle starts on the next hour in 3 minutes, it'll go the absolute opposite direction from the first hour. That's not unusual. You have to be cautious of that. If you're in a long trade, be aware that sometimes on this next hour it can go all the way back to where it started, and you would lose all your profit. So if you have a long trade open, you want to have your stop loss close to break even. No, I did not trade today, thank you. As you can see on the chart, there is no trade set up. I'm looking for the candle to close above the red trend line or close below the green trend line. And as you can see on the chart, that has not happened today. So far today, I don't have a trade. I mean, today, my time. It's just the Asian market has just opened, and this is when I start trading, and I have not taken a trade yet today. On Thursday, now just about 9 a.m. in Indochina. Now, in the U.S. market last night, I did do some trades. Okay, I was scalping in the during the Wall Street session, but so far today, Thursday, for me where I live, I have not taken a trade yet. No, this is the first green trend line here. Okay, this I have to go back to here. This is first point of the touch, and then I draw it up to the next point of the touch, which is right there, and then I can come in steeper with my trend line. Boom. So when I get another touch point there, and I can come in steeper with the trend line, then I draw it up to the next touch points. And normally I would start to adjust my trend lines now. So this one is broken below. So I would move that right there. Because once it has crossed the trend line and then gone back up, the trend line is no longer valid. So you can see now on this trend line, I have one, two, three touch points. So if this breaks below the first and second green line, they're really close together. Normally they're not so close together, but this having three touch points and this break and close below that, that would be a strong confluence that I could go short. Sometimes when the trend lines are that close, oh, sometimes when the trend lines are that close, I won't put one because this almost touched there. So now I've got two touch points and almost the third one there. So just to keep the chart a little bit cleaner, those two trend lines were very close together. Maybe that will clear that up for you. And here we go. The first candle of this hour has started and it's starting to reverse. So during this hour, we might come down to this trend line and it might go below and close below, and then I'll go short. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. We've been here for an hour. If you have any more questions, you can message me on Telegram. My ID is @RickRayFX, or you can leave them in the comment section here on YouTube. I do reply to all comments. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and share. And I'll see you in the New York session at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or I'll see you tomorrow in the Asian session. Have a great day wherever you